Well, it's our Friday night meeting. Don't know how it'll go, but it'll go or whatever. These meetings are kind of impromptu. We talk about all kind of things. I'm going to work on some carbon layup. Somebody should come in here shortly. Charles had a big spiel. I get kind of talked out. This stuff here is a game changer. We're going to need to polish these molds again. Hey, Gary,
Hello. Good afternoon.
I didn't even hear you come in.
I just got here.
You snuck in.
I snuck in. Yeah, he is busy.
Gonna make a couple of tanks tonight.
Yeah, I
Shoot,
watched the other night while he was polishing.
I figured Steve would be on first thing.
Still being hot there, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I know.
they got my street all tore up now. At least that part is done. They'll come back next week and lay the pavement.
Is it blacktop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
guy said something. We're talking to the neighbor. I said, this is the first time in 30 years I've seen this thing paved. He said, yeah, you won't be here to see the next paving. Yeah, that's about right. Be 100 something. I don't think I'll be here.
Yeah. Once in a lifetime.
My brother called me a while back and said, I'd sure like to see you once more before it's over. I said, well, get in your car and drive over there. I went to Colorado the last time. He can come here.
So he lives in Colorado, does he?
Denver.
Wow.
Actually, Aurora, but same thing. Well, this is the end of this. I won't have to put any more of this on for a while. This is 3 coats of chem lease on this. This shit is 300 and some dollars a gallon.
But that stuff you're pouring on there?
Yeah.
Wow. Can't sell it in any smaller quantities?
They know it's good and they don't want
Yeah.
to. There ain't nothing special in it. I'll guarantee that the material to make that cost about $10. Yeah, getting the hose. One drop is all it takes on there. I don't have a clamshell for this one, so I'm going to try to use this Teflon to see if we can. This is a mold that John made, and he had a catastrophic lockup, and he decided that he'd give up on it.
Hmm.
So when he passed away, I went over there and ain't nobody knows what to do with this anyway. So I got this stuff and we'll finish John's project. Too busy sitting in that chair.
Yep, I miss John too.
Okay, so I got all that done. It should be dry in a couple of minutes here. Come on, guys, if you're looking to talk, come on in.
Yeah.
Are you watching the YouTube chat? I can't see it.
I got it on here. Let's see. Edward Carlo
Yeah,
likes it, he said. That's all.
I've got to edit up another Stunt Flyer Video Magazine video. I'll have to do that tomorrow. members video.
How much time do you spend upstairs there in your room?
Much as possible.
Yeah.
I just got a message or a phone call. No. Harbor Freight telling you about the deals they got. You ever watch Windy videos and seen him using these molds? He was beating the shit out of them to get them apart. Well, this stuff here that it just falls out.
Okay. So, yeah.
Okie dokie. Might have to do some more work on those. Might lock up. Matt Cohen was looking for an 8-ounce tank and I couldn't make it for him because I didn't have the buck. So now I can make it.
So what's that one mold? Does it make all four sides? And then you got one for the end pieces?
Yeah. We need to scrape that extra. You don't think it'll stick, but you never know. We got nothing in chat.
No.
Come on, guys. This show is done by you, not by me.
There we got someone coming.
Dan Winship,
Yeah.
the twins.
Yeah. Hi, Dan.
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're making it.
I had to get out of my easy chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twins. You got a window open.
Wait a minute. Turn this TV down. Turn this phone down. All right.
Yeah, we can hear it feeding back.
Yeah, it's just me and Cheeto out here tonight.
You get him some ice cream?
No, he'd like some though.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and mold this tank, but I think I'm gonna reface these end cap molds. They are nasty. Really need to have them sandblasted to get all this shit off of here. Okay, so we got molds ready to go. They're all lubed up.
Edward wants to know if you found the fittings you were looking for Monday night.
Yes. Oh, you mean for the switch? No. And I just like I told Dan today, I think it was today. This vacuum switch right here has a thread that's straight and it's metric. So I called the guy, I messaged the guy that I bought it from, and I said, do you sell a fitting that will go on here? He said, no. What we do is you get 2 threads started and you crank it down and it'll seal. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. I hate doing shit that's Mickey Mouse like that, though. Absolutely hate it. You still there? Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Well, Dan's disappeared, and you were silent. So I didn't know
Okay. Yeah, we're still here.
whether they were on the air still.
I was just thinking of it.
I got to get a piece of Teflon.
They had to have something in order to make them threads in the first place, didn't they?
It comes from
I
China,
mean,
so who knows what it is.
oh,
I got some more of them fittings, Dan, coming. 2 sets for $20.
Okay.
They're hydraulic fittings, and I'll let you know if they work, but they're the exact same thing. And I bought a set of Kevlar scissors. They were expensive. I thought they were expensive. Most expensive scissors I've ever bought. How much you think for a pair of scissors, Danny?
Probably about $100.
No. But they were $56. That's still ridiculous for a pair of scissors.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. They still haven't picked up this roll of carbon fiber, and they haven't called me. So I guess they're going to let me keep it.
Well, sometimes it costs more to ship it back than it's worth messing with. I don't know, maybe they will.
Look at
I'm
that.
going to try to lay up a landing gear here, make myself useful out here. I thought, well, might as well get on the hangout here and do this landing gear. Since you're making a tank, I got to get this dang camera fixed up.
there's Carl.
Hey, how is everybody?
Trying to get cool.
Well, here in Nevada, it's been today was a really nice, cool, enjoyable day.
105. What was the temperature?
I don't think it got above 100 today.
Yeah.
I mean, this morning it was like, what was that yesterday morning? Well, either yesterday morning, this morning, it was 70 degrees around 8, 9 o'clock. So
The dry heat, right?
yes,
Mm.
and you stay out there for a few minutes, you get very, very wet. So
And if you get wet, then you steam.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then your go-go energy is taken away, is zapped from you.
Fifty and 7. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Everybody's making something. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna make a landing gear.
Darn. I found a neat way to do a seam on carbon fiber. Did you know about if you want to seam two pieces of carbon fiber together to make it look good, what you use? Have you seen that, Dan?
No, what do you do?
Okay, let's say that you cut the carbon and you want to seam them together one over the top. You take a piece of that carbon veil, an inch wide, and you take 3M77 and you spray the end of the carbon and put that veil on the end, let it dry. Then you
Okay,
cut a straight line, and that's how you seam it, so that the line stays straight instead of all goofy.
that's a neat tip. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it looks professional. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy was making race car parts, and I was watching his channel, watching how he was doing it, and that's how he did it.
Yeah, that was all the advantage of pre-preg. You could get, the perfect seam. So basically what you're saying is when you overlap it and cut it, basically it's like cutting wallpaper that's
Well, let me show you. Okay. Here's a piece of this carbon, and you see how the ends are all the layers are all fraying.
yeah,
You put a 1-inch piece of carbon veil on it and let it dry, and then cut through the veil, and it holds it all together.
okay.
Oh, okay.
That's that 2/10 stuff that I got.
Okay, that's a neat idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it on the end of this. On the sides here, it doesn't much matter for my application, but we'll try it on the end to see what it looks like on the termination. That's a nice line.
That's some fancy scissors you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought another cutting tool that this guy's using. It's a roller cutter. You use those, Dan?
Yeah, I got one of those.
45 millimeter roller cutter.
Yeah.
Like a pizza cutter.
Yeah. They work amazingly well.
So
Oh,
we're
I got
gonna,
a little,
I'm gonna
got
try
a
this
little bit of-
carbon veil trick.
John's with us.
So you take a piece of this carbon fiber about that wide. We're going to 3M77 it to the end there and then cut a straight line. These ends here don't matter because they get cut off.
Yeah, you put that on and then cut through all the material at once.
Yep. The
Yeah,
veil
okay.
holds the threads together.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd work.
Just so happens I have the right stuff right here. Super 77.
Like we got the mad chemists going on here.
Yeah, we got chemistry in two places.
Well, I've already made up my mind. After I get these going, tonight I'm going to mold these tanks and see if I can lay up a perky. And after the perky is done, I'm going to build a CV airplane. That's a carbon Viper.
You gonna make the whole thing out of carbon, or you just gonna?
Yep, the whole thing. I'm gonna take that wing and put some ribs in it and make a carbon fiber I-beam, carbon fiber looking I-beam. And the fuselage, put it together. Well, that's slick as shit right there. Wish I had them other scissors right now, but I don't.
How quick does that dry?
It's dry already.
Okay, that's quick.
You don't put much on it, you just dust it on. Gotta hold it straight.
Hey, John, you still drawing plans?
I still am, but I've got a problem with my program right now. So I'm kind of curtailed from doing anything until I get that straightened out. Draft site raised their rent. You could lease it from them for a year for $200. They raised it up $350. That was the last straw for me with them.
Yeah.
So now I'm dealing with another supplier, and I'm having a little trouble downloading the dang thing.
Back in the day, did you ever draw your plans by hand?
Oh, yeah. I was a professional draftsman for a couple of years here in Alhambra, California. Worked for a company called Majesco. We made material handling equipment for the Air Force and for the aircraft industry.
Yeah. Back in the 90s, I'd go into this drafting store, to buy my ink pens and stuff. And
Get
they
your
had
rub off.
yeah, they had the lecture sets.
Yeah.
And Sparky's seen it. He was over here. I had a drafting table. They were selling drafting tables when the computers came out because people were getting rid of their drafting machines. It had the the arm on it and everything. And so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still have it sitting over there.
You want to sell it?
No, back then I think it cost me $350, and I still got it and I still use it. But I don't know. There's something to be said for a T-square
Yeah.
Square. And then the guy, he's about 3 doors down. He passed away, but he was a draftsman. He drew probably 3/4 of the houses in this neighborhood for a builder who was building them. And he passed away, and then they had a garage sale, and his wife had all the stuff sitting out there in the driveway. And she had big plastic tubs full of, all the drafting stuff. They were pencils, sharpeners, the squares, all the different French curves and templates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And she had a price that said $3. I thought that was per template or something. She said, no, that's for the whole box. I said, well, I guess I'll take both boxes full of stuff, It was like $5 or $6. I don't know what it was. You couldn't even have bought one template for that.
Right.
She just wanted to get rid of it. And I got it. I put it in the drawer here.
Did you do like I did with the guy with files? I said, how much you want for these? He said $2. And he had about 40 files, brand new in there. I said, no, man, you can't take that. Here, I think I gave him $40. That when he one file's $40.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to find? And I don't have much chance of finding it where I live. But I'd like to find one of those sets of drawers for the plans where they're laid out flat.
Yeah.
Looks like Howard Rush has got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Howard Rush has got a bunch of them.
Yeah. I wish that I got some in my place too. We had them big drawers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had like 3 sets, I think they stacked on top of one another.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're so handy.
Yeah.
Our Rush has that neat filing cabinet system. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely at the right place at the right time.
You guys have one of that little bags, erasers in it that you use to kind of keep your plans clean.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The best model airplane hand draftsman I ever knew was a fella, he was actually Pampa president for a while. He drew our little emblem with the little stunt plane in it and the circle and that with the triangle maneuver in it.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm trying to remember his name. I had it a minute ago.
Steve
Uh,
Russo.
Steve Bussell. He was a architectural. Basically, did civil drawings. There you go. You know, the from the notes from the people out with the, what do they call them, making their sidings and laying. Anyway, but you know what, the difficulty that a hand draftsman has is that right at the beginning, you got to get really good at this. You got to visualize what your drawing's going to look like finished, because if you put the wrong thing in the wrong place, or you present it a little different, or where, there's no fixing it. You have to start over again.
Put the toilet where the window goes.
Yeah. And Steve Busso was very good at what he did. Some of his plans are probably are worth being framed. They're that good. You know, he didn't have much to say about. He didn't care much about CAD draftsmen, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that I'd been a hand draftsman for years before I took up CAD drafting. But the main problem most people have with CAD drafting is they don't know how to work their lines. They don't know how to get their line weights in. They don't know how to put any life in the drawing. Their drawings, in many cases, are all done on one layer, or if they're done on several layers, they've all got the same line width, same line weight, and they just don't look right. They look sterile. Whereas, like what Steve did, he did what any good draftsman does. You have line weight for your object line. You have line weight for your your lines for your
Invisible lines.
invisible
Sometimes.
lines, hidden
Yeah.
lines, center
Hidden
lines.
lines.
All of them were all different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got some of his plans.
Yeah.
The Zap machine. He was known for the Zap machine.
Mm-hmm. I've got his Vegas plans. And I got a plan. I bought it from, I think it was Flying Models. It was an RC plane based on a little free flight that he had. Had an inverted gull wing and wheel, how you call it, they weren't wheel pants. Anyway, it was a beautiful little, it was a semi-scale, not a semi-scale, it was a sport pattern plane. And it was a gorgeous, gorgeous design. I bought it because I thought to myself, with a little bit of work, that might be able to be made into a really nice stunner. Never did it. Still have those plans too somewhere.
And them layers is kind of nice to work with
Yeah, the layers,
because
when
you
you
can
learn how
turn
to
them
do
off
them,
and on. Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was back in the 90s. Some guy I was corresponding with. He was a draftsman. He sent me uh, probably a bootleg copy of AutoCAD, and I loaded that thing on the computer, and I opened that program up, and that thing just exploded with all these different buttons and whistles. And I looked at that,
Get it.
and I turned it off. It's like, okay, I need to go to college for 2 years to figure out how to run this thing.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing that, like, people ask me, what's the best and fastest way to learn it? And I'll tell them, you can spend years trying to learn it on your own, and eventually you'll get it. Or you can go up, sign up for a night course at your local community college and take 6 months or a year worth of night courses on it, and you'll be pretty good shape.
Yeah. Yeah. The other way I approached a lot of programs Adobe Photoshop or some of these things is I'd buy a book or a manual and I'd only do exactly what I needed. I forgot about all the other stuff. So I just dug deep enough in the program to do what I needed. And that helped me out a lot, kept me on track.
Well, that's true. Sometimes we learn more than we need to, and we get tied up in the intricacies.
Frustrated.
Hmm.
Yeah, you try to find something and it's not in the same place. You got it. One place is at page 2, and the other is page 56, and then 37, and try to get it all together and find out what you want to know.
Well, in the industry, things have changed. You used to be able to buy the program. I know when I went to school, I could buy the student version. Student version cost me $275 for AutoCAD. And it was good. Even after I graduated, I could continue to use it until it got finally to the point where it wasn't being supported anymore because they had gone so far beyond where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look into the price of it, and one chair, that's how you buy it, is by the chair. One chair might be $3,000 for a legitimate copy. You can buy high-graded copies for anywhere between $10 and $500, depending on what it is. The problem with that is you have no support. You could be challenged if you were doing work that you were, like publishing with or whatever. You could get challenged on that, things like that. It's just not the way to go. Then they came out with you could lease the program on a yearly basis. And it started out you could lease I really like DraftSight. It's almost totally identical to AutoCAD, and in some respects it was actually a little ahead of AutoCAD. But
Yeah.
you could lease it on a yearly lease basis for under $100, and that made it nice because I could afford to be legal.
Have you tried Blender?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
You need to get that because it's the most powerful CAD software in the world because it'll do animations, it'll do G-code, it'll do everything that your CAD program will do, and it's free.
Yeah, I'd looked at it. It's just I think the learning curve might be something that where I might have a
Yeah,
bit of problem.
it's a big learning curve. I looked at that and went, forget this. I don't have enough
Yeah.
time in my life.
Yeah. So that's kind of thing. I've looked at it, like I say, but I haven't downloaded it and tried to work with it because of the learning curve.
Well, you ought to
Anyway,
at least try it because I tried it and I know nothing about CAD.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably got a better idea than I got on that.
Well, what's the hard thing is the
The buttons.
there's about 3 or 4 versions of CAD software that are the industry standards. And it depends on what part of the industry you're involved in. And I'm talking about 2D and with a little 3D. Then there's a whole bunch more when you start going into the 3D side of it. But on the 2D with a little 3D, like the DraftSight and the AutoCAD and stuff like that, the standards are basically AutoCAD seems to be the most the most prevalent in the world, and then DraftSight is almost a direct. I mean, even your commands are the same. You can specialize your commands, and they've already done it. They've already taken the commands, shorthand commands in AutoCAD they've set them up to work in draft sites. So
Now, does your,
anything you learned in AutoCAD, you can do immediately in draft site,
now
which
do,
means
do
they're
those
learning.
programs work in prims or meshes?
Pardon?
Do those programs work in prims or meshes?
They must not, because I don't know those terms. I don't use those terms.
Okay, a prim is a box, a triangle, a sphere, a square, no, a circle and a square. A
Okay, you're
mesh,
talking about 3D programming.
right? Well, Blender does all that,
Right,
and you can do that, but you can draw. I can draw a straight line with it too, and
right,
curved lines and stuff.
right.
But
No, I was trained in AutoCAD, actually release 12. And I worked in 12, 13, 14, and up. But it's basically been the 2D. Now the 2D in AutoCAD has a little bit of native 3D. You can do 3D stuff in AutoCAD. It's just not as slick as that as like SolidWorks. SolidWorks is probably the #1 program for most people to use in 3D. The thing is, there are programs that are in common usage with normal businesses and hobbyists and mostly businesses. And then there are the programs that are in use for the government. And those are the ones that are extremely, they got everything, okay? And they're extremely effective. They're huge. They're very expensive. It takes a bit of training to get proficient in it. So on the ones that you and I would use, I would say AutoCAD is still #1. I'd say DraftSight is in the top 3 or 4. It's interesting because Howard asked me what at one point way back when, I'm talking about probably 1998, somewhere in that area. I think he wanted to get into AutoCAD or into CAD work, and he asked me what one he should buy. And the best bargain at that time was, oh crap, both he and our buddy from Colorado, Mark Gerber, uses that program, and it's a good program. It's just it's enough different that if you are trained in AutoCAD, you have to relearn a whole bunch of stuff. You may as well start over. But Howard was starting from pretty much scratch, so he jumped right into it, and he's pretty good on that. He does all of his stuff. He's kept it up, and it works good for him. Anyway, there's so much going on in it right now. It's getting, there are some people that they go strictly 3D on everything, and you can do 3D. You can get all your fits. You can literally build what you're doing, make sure everything fits. That there's no parts running outside of the building. You might say, I remember when I was living in Wisconsin, we had a shipyard there. They were building minesweepers for the Navy. And these are wooden boats, as you well know, Sparky. And they got their first CAD system, and they ran it all through there, and they found they had some of the piping, a foot and a half outside the hull, which saved them a lot to find it before they ever built it. They were able to change things and get things, made it a whole lot easier for them to build those ships.
You know what? You still can't idiot proof everything.
Well, that's true. You can't.
I'll tell you a story real quick. A friend of my boys and my daughter, he was going to college for 2 years to get a degree in construction, whatever that entails. So he gets his little college degree, and he's a really good kid. I mean, he's smart and everything, but so he gets his degree and he comes over like a year later. I said, "Well, how's the job going?" He said, "Oh man, it's terrible." He said, "I think they're wanting to fire me." I said, "Gosh, what happened?" Long story short, they built this house and it didn't have a main girder going down the center of the house. It was open concept. The people moved in and the floor started to deflect 2 inches before they caught it.
Oh
So
my goodness.
the
Huh.
CAD program will tell you when parts don't fit, but you can leave a girder out of a house and everything's fine. So it got by the inspector, and it was one of these houses. It was probably a lot of prefab. So the people building the house, they weren't builders. They were just people to screw everything and nail it together, and they didn't notice it. And it got all the way to the customer moving into the house. So you think you've got it figured out, and it got by the inspector, it got by him and all the builders. And I said, "Well, how'd they fix the problem?" He said they cut a hole in the side of the house and then they ran a steel beam in there and put the posts underneath it or whatever they needed to do after the fact.
Yeah.
So there's more horror stories out there in these construction sites. And
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. When I was living in Wisconsin, I was living in the Dorconic Peninsula, which is kind of a resort area type of thing. And there's some group got together, decided they were going to build some townhouses. And since they're in Wisconsin, there were several builders of pre-manufactured homes. They got their best deal on, and this company would pre-manufacture to their specs, deliver it on site, and erect it to where it was ready to do the drywall and electrical and plumbing and all that, and finish it up. Well, they brought it in sections. They used a crane. They set it on place, but they ran their plumbing connections, their water pipes, on some of the adjoining ones up in the rafters. Okay, you see where it's going? Well,
Rain inside.
as it turned out, of course, these during the winter months, these townhouses were empty because the people down in Chicago or wherever they're from, they were down there because it was not as cold in Chicago, believe it or not, as it was up there.
Yeah.
So there was no one there to know that the pipes had burst and that the place was filled with water. The water level's at about 3.5 feet tall. Somebody noticed the water flowing out the doors and freezing and these ice, and they finally shut the water off.
Yeah.
Well, I I was a drywall contractor at that time, and so they contacted me and had me come in, and after they dried it out that spring, they'd moved everything out, and so we cut away the soft, moldy drywall that had been affected in the flood. We cut that away and replaced that with fresh stuff. We washed it out with, I think it was vinegar, whatever it was, to kill the mold. And we finished it, and they packed they put it back together, finished it up, painted it, did the carpet, everything got back up and running, put more insulation up in the ceiling, figured that'd take care of it. Guess what happened the next winter?
Same thing.
Same thing. And they got sued. By this time,
man.
they got sued. And it put the group that had put the building together, they went bankrupt. The company that did the did the actual construction, you know, the manufacturing company that manufactured the buildings, they got sued. They actually went bankrupt over the deal. So yeah, like you say, you can't educate out dummies. Dumb is dumb.
Yeah. Not a lot of common sense.
That's the one thing. Was it the saying goes? Why is it that common sense isn't so common?
Yeah.
Mhm. I'll turn the water off when you leave a building. And
Yeah, somebody could have done that, couldn't they?
yeah. Before you leave, just turn the water off, and then
Yeah. I gotta put my ice cream back in the freezer.
Get you some frozen boulder.
Yeah,
What
Okay.
kind of ice cream?
it's strawberry with white chocolate.
So we got 67.
There it is. Oh, come on.
So we got
Okay.
it's kind of going and coming and going there.
7,
Oh, there it is.
7.
Yeah, white chocolate with strawberry. Good
You
stuff.
ever eat Tillamook?
Yes,
73 and a half.
good stuff.
We need 73 and a half.
Steve Berry says hi. Good evening, everyone. And Roy Lane says good evening. Light given.
Hi, Steve. Hey, if you ever have any questions on composites, Steve, give me a call. I'll tell you everything I know in 5 minutes.
Hey, Gordy.
Here comes Gordon.
Gordy's looking for a PA-51.
Yes.
A what? A PA 50?
I gave Ray that Pathfinder LE with the PA-51. He went out today and put 2 flights on it. Says it ran like a champ. And the 3rd flight, it started out good. And then all of a sudden he's heard the squeaking. And it just seized up and quit.
No.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think the wrist pin from any caster that was in it throws the wrist pin to the piston.
oh, that's too bad. So, anybody got a PA-51 rear exhaust? That's what he's looking for.
Yeah, I tried to sell him my Stalker 51, but he kind of soured out about it.
That's a good engine, that Stalker 51.
It's a good engine. I had that at the Nats when I borrowed your 51.
Yeah,
Mine's never been run.
I know. If I had a PA-51 rear exhaust, I'd give it to you, trade you for that Stalker.
Do they still make the Stalkers?
Pardon?
Do they still make the Stalker motors?
Yeah, they believe it or not, they're managing to get a little production even with the war going on.
They're made in Moldova, not Ukraine.
Tom Dixon's the one that sells them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gordy bought a Stalker 51 side exhaust for his Pathfinder profile.
Yeah, I flew it yesterday, John.
How's it going?
Oh, ran like a champ. I tried a different prop and it really perked it up.
What'd you try?
It's a 11.6 BY&O.
Really?
No, an RSM prop
Oh, okay.
and 15% nitro.
You like that nitro?
But yeah, so does the engine.
Yeah, I understand.
Happy.
No nitro, no power.
See, and I run them and I get plenty. I get enough power to do the pattern. You know.
Well, you barely have power to get through the pattern.
Never failed to get through it.
Now, if you put 10% in there, you would really have some authority. On 15%, that motor really perked up.
Imagine what it would do at 40.
Well, I did that on my Tiger 46.
Yeah, I know you did. Darn thing sat there and ran like a 4-stroke. Never came out of a 4-stroke.
Nope.
You didn't have to.
Well, Bart and Whitney used up all my 20%, and all I had left was my combat fuel. So I threw 40% to it. And boy, it 4-stroke the whole pattern.
Has
You
Bart
never-
started that P-51 yet?
Oh no, that's not going to happen.
No, it'll happen. I got one project to finish first, and then the Mustang. So it's in the box on the bench.
You still got that 51 that's based on the Electra?
Which one's that?
That one he had in his home that was all, the balsa was all brown color. It was so old. But it was a P-51, but it was based on Dick Williams' Electra.
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it was there. First time I went and visited his home there in California. He had it, but he had it upstairs in the building room there in Tucson. I remember seeing it there.
Oh, who are you talking about, Bart?
Yeah,
Oh, well, he's sitting
What-
back
what-
there.
What P-51 is this?
you had a plane that was started by somebody. It was all framed out, but it had never been covered, and it was so old the balsa wood had turned brown.
Mhm.
I don't remember that.
And it was based on Dick Williams' Electra.
Yeah, P-51. I drew some plans, but I tossed those. Long time.
Well, no, this plane was built by somebody else who had died. And you had it sitting there. I remember you saying I really ought to finish that up someday.
Oh, Chuck Venners.
No, that's his twin.
No, he started a Mustang before he died. And I remember what he's talking about now. And it was at your house for a while.
In Tucson?
No, in California.
California. I don't remember.
I thought I saw it in Tucson the first year I was at his house.
Yeah, I don't remember the airplane. I really don't.
That's all right. I remember it. I'll remember it for you.
Somebody needs to.
We're all getting that way, Bart.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I did 5 years ago, and I can't remember what I did 2 minutes ago.
It's all the stuff in between that you remember, right?
Nope.
Hey, Mark, got a question for you, Mark. Gerber.
Is Mark on there?
Yeah.
He's here. Hi,
Can
Mark.
you hear me, Mark?
Yeah, now I can. I got my earphones turned on.
I'm trying to remember what CAD program you're running.
TurboCAD.
That's it, TurboCAD. Yeah. We were discussing CAD programs a little while ago, and I couldn't remember what you and Howard are running.
Well, I'm still screwed because I'm running it under this boot camp program on an Apple machine, and it runs Windows 10. Support for Windows 10 is going to end in October. So I can't get Windows 11 to run on my new Mac under Parallels. So I'm screwed.
Uh-oh. So you're gonna have to, I've got the same problem. I think I've got one computer I built that I can buy a new board, new motherboard for it, and put it back together with the new board. See, I'm sure I'll have to use different memory and things like that, but it'd be a lot cheaper than buying a whole new computer.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, is buying a Windows machine.
Yeah.
So,
Get out.
Yeah, you're running an Apple machine.
yeah, I've got two Apples, three Apples actually.
Wow. I'm surprised that they're not working.
I am too, because I bought it with the assumption I could get TurboCAD to work on it just like it does on the old Mac. And I talked to TurboCAD and said, no, we don't support working under Parallels. So
What about, will it work on Red Hat, Linus?
I don't know.
That might be an option. I've worked a little on Linus machines and they work pretty cool.
Well, whatever it is, I either have to buy a new computer that runs it or a different computer. Maybe I could buy a used one. Or get some way to run it on a Mac.
I don't know if they've got a program that's compatible with a Mac. I know you can buy it to run on a Windows machine.
TurboCAD has a Mac version of their program, but nothing like the one that we have on Windows.
So
And you can't, it's not like Word or PowerPoint. You can't open a file on a different machine like you can with these other applications. So I can't open the TurboCAD files anyway.
Oh, that's a bummer.
If I've got the Mac version, I've played with it and got the loaner copy. It's really kludgy. It's not a good program, I don't think.
Well,
Did you say you had 3 apples, Mark?
Yeah.
I got 3 bananas. I'm sorry, I had to say that, Mark.
just no, I won't say that.
So what? How's your new airplane coming?
You asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, we want a Bearcat report.
There isn't much to report.
Haven't you been working on it?
No, I left here June 29th, and I got back Monday.
He's been traipsing all over the country.
I went to Ohio, then I went to Muncie for the Nats. I went back to Ohio, then I came back here. So I'm just getting ready to start working on it again.
Okay.
But there's something else I'd like to talk about if you got a minute.
Oh, we got the time.
Yeah.
I posted this on Stunt Hangar today, but it sort of indicates the nice people that are in this hobby.
Oh, I saw that.
Can you turn on the sharing? Who's got the controls? Sparky?
Hold on.
Arky's in his chemistry.
Hurry up.
What do you mean, hold on? Chop, chop.
I can only move so fast. Go ahead.
You,
Move it or lose it.
There we go. I got my T-Bird, my 20-year-old T-Bird back into shape and took it to VSC, and it's flying good. So I thought I'd take it to the Nats. So I took off the propeller and the landing gear to make it easier to transport and put it in my CRV. And we took off for Ohio and got to Ohio and spent most of a week at my son's house with the grandkids. And I was going to come over to Muncie on the day after 4th of July. So the day before the 4th of July, I got it out and I was going to put the landing gear on it and put the prop back on it. And I found out I couldn't find the landing gear, which is a real bummer.
yeah,
So I got a hold of my son-in-law back here in Colorado, and he went and checked in our basement, and there it was laying on the floor. So he ran down to
it's hard to
UPS.
get good points with a hand launch, isn't it?
Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Steve Smith is not on, is he?
No.
No.
I wanted to ask him this question, see what he said. Anyway, I got my son-in-law. He raced down to UPS and he got there like at 6:35 and it closed at 6:30. And the next day was the 4th of July. So he couldn't ship anything on the 4th of July. On Saturday morning, the 5th, I was in Ohio and I was packed up and I started for Muncie. And he took the landing gear to FedEx and asked him if they could overnight it to Muncie, Indiana. It would have been a Sunday delivery. And they went $180.
Wow.
And they couldn't get it here until Monday. Or get it to Muncie until Monday. Well, the classic event is Monday morning. So that didn't do me any good. So I told him just to hang on to it. I called Joe Gilbert and I talked to him a little bit and kind of brainstormed what we could do. And we were starting to joke about, we could hand launch it and then belly land it. But we didn't know how many points we'd get. So I was going to ask Steve Smith what the ruling was on that. But by then I was getting near Fort Wayne, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that Dennis Adamison lives in Fort Wayne. So I called Dennis, and he was home, and he answered his phone, and he said, "Come on over." So I went on over. I was only like 10 minutes off the freeway. And within an hour, he'd crafted a whole new landing gear for me, wheels and axles and everything. We drilled some holes in it and put it on the airplane. And I was off on the road to Muncie.
Cool.
So he really saved my bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's what the landing gear looked like that I wish I had. It's got engine turning on it and a new set of equal wheels that I got. And here's the one that Dennis made for me. It's pretty much, you stand back 6 feet, you can't tell much difference. Had some Dubro wheels and a nice piece of aluminum. We made an adapter plate up here to screw it into the bottom of the T-Bird. I had the bolts along with me. Fortunately, so I could use the bolts that I already had. And I put it on and I had the first flight Monday morning and it worked fine. So Dennis saved my bacon, and he's a good guy in my book. And he came down to the Nats on Thursday, so I took him out to lunch at a Mexican restaurant, him and Cha-Cha.
Taco Bell?
No, it was a much nicer place. And gave him his landing gear back, and I came back to Colorado and my landing gear was here. I put it back on, so I'm back in business again. I hope not to repeat that. As I said on Stunt Hangar, all of a sudden it dawned on me when they were having the award ceremony that they were going to award the pachyderm trophy to somebody. And I thought I was going to get it. So I was really holding my breath. I thought maybe I should run for it. But they gave it to Chris Cox. I guess he forgot his whole airplane
Yeah.
at the hotel. So I don't know if they even knew about my problem here and how it got fixed, but I was happy they didn't award me the Pakenham Prize. So anyway, that was my week, my intro to the Nats. I judged the rest of the week, but Monday we flew classic, and the stunt landing gear Dennis made me work just fine. So
You aren't flying that with the differential flaps, are you?
no,
Good.
Nobody does.
Right.
How much does that weigh, Mark?
it's up to about 50 ounces now
Wow.
after
I
some
won
repair
my
work.
first, I won my first contest with the borrowed Thunderbird non-AMA contest, and the airplane weighed 39 ounces.
Cool.
I've never scored that high since.
It flies pretty good in Muncie. Here in Colorado, it's a little sluggish in the corners, but
Yeah.
in lower elevations, it's not bad. It's got a lot of wing area.
That's back when you get real balsa wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, 610. 610 square inches. What engine you running, Mark?
The Super Tiger 46.
Oh, wow. Good choice.
It's an ABC version.
Oh, Brian Gardner?
I think so. Jim Hoffman, I got it from Jim, and he got it out of Walt Minga's estate. He helped Walt's widow dispose of, I think, a couple hundred engines. Jim's not on either, is he?
No.
And she told him to keep a few, and he gave me one of the Super Tiger 46s. It says ABC on it, and it's got Randy Smith engraved in it, and it's got Walt's name engraved in it. So I presume Randy did the upgrade, but I presume he used Ryan Gardner's piston and sleeve because I don't know anybody else that makes one. But I don't know. He could have done it a long time ago. And it runs really well.
The Pathfinder I gave to Ray Firkins, I had a PA-51, and he put 3 flights on a few weeks ago, and then 2 flights today. And then the 3rd flight, he heard this squeaking sound that seized up and quit.
Ooh.
So he brought it home, and the bottom end's free, but the liner, he said, looked horrible. So I got
actually, maybe he's got an extra piston and liner because he's got a bunch of parts, he told me.
Who's that?
Henry Nelson.
Yeah, I told him try him and see if he could add any.
I flew the T-Bird at VSC with a Tom Lay 46 in it that I had that was formerly in my Hurricane before the Blue Heron took it down.
Oh, and, wow.
I was running pretty good, but I had this ABC motor, so I put it in there. I ran on the bench for about an hour, and then I put it in there a few weeks before I left, and got about a dozen flights on it, and it's running really well.
Oh, I bet. He makes wonderful piston liner sets.
Yeah, I'm becoming a believer.
Caffeine, you heading out flying?
Hi guys, I'm on the road again.
I see that.
Yeah, actually my wife and I have been working long hours lately, so it's either I have to work on weekends or I have to take turns with my wife because she works late a lot lately, so on weekends she wants to have some relaxing moments like playing tennis. So yeah, lately I have to take turns with my wife, so I often take care of my kids during the weekend. So no flying lately. So the good thing is I still have my project going on. So yeah, even though I don't fly very much lately, but I still have something to do with with the modeling. So yeah, that's good.
Great.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for my belt rank to come, and then after that I can continue to finish it up, because it's the only thing that I couldn't get here in Indonesia, the belt rank, but other stuff is available. So yeah, it's as soon as the belt rank arrives, it will be, yeah, it will be done.
Which plane is that going in?
It's actually Pat Johnston stiletto.
Okay.
Stiletto inspired, it's a tribute. It's not really the stiletto, but
Yeah. So I'm seriously looking
and
forward
I
to it.
modified
Go ahead.
the fuselage.
Good.
Yeah, I modified. Yeah, because his plan is the first stiletto, but then I modified the fuselage to look.
Well,
Yep.
I'm looking forward to when you finish up that Pathfinder. I really think you're gonna like it.
Yeah. After that, I will start building the Pathfinder, because currently I I'm done do the laser cutting. So yeah, it's gonna be fast.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we got Gordon's here. He's the designer on that Pathfinder.
Yeah, yeah.
And see that guy sitting behind him? Sitting behind him there. Can you see him?
That's the guy that did the Noah's Ark.
That's the guy that built Noah's Ark. Yeah.
Ah,
Bart.
That's Bart.
Huh?
He's asleep.
Oh,
Yes, John.
Oh, he's back.
I was just explaining that you were the guy that built Noah's Ark. That caffeine here. Just
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's such a
that-
small community,
yeah.
It's you can get in touch directly with the designers itself. So yeah, it's fun. Thanks to the internet.
That's a fact. That's Bart Klipinski back there. That's who that is. Probably one of. I don't know if he still is, but he was at one time. He was a wild hand. But I'll tell you, guy could fly 3 airplanes at a time.
That
Do
was
the
a
speed
lot.
pattern with 2 of them, and cook his dinner all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
And John, you never mentioned that I flew 2 combat planes at the same time.
Well, no, I didn't want to. I didn't want your head to swell up and fill the room. My goodness. Your best combat story in my book is when you did a combat match with that gal who was the judge's date there, and you wound up getting into. I don't know, you kissed her or you hugged her or whatever, because as a congratulations. But yeah,
She gave me a lip lock.
there you go.
I didn't know that the field marshal was her boyfriend.
See, that's good stuff there. Yeah.
And anyway, we went for several rounds, and he kept repeating, "The match is over. The match is over."
They did ride home together in the same car, though, didn't they?
Well, I'm sure they did.
Can I share something with you guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my 6-year-old under my help. We're making
Oh, look at
progress.
that.
Nice.
That's a cutie. What design is that? Is that yours?
It's a big rat.
Oh, there you go. Okay. How's he flying it? Is he doing okay on it?
Oh, we're just building it right now. It's coming to an end. We
Oh, look
finished
at that.
the trim on the tail. We finished the laying up the trim on the horizontal. This one is not finished yet on the wings
Uh-huh.
here. And
Oh,
we finished the nose. The canopy looks. So this
it'll
is
be
how it's
ready
gonna look
next
like.
week. It'll be ready next week, I can tell you that.
Yep.
What a cutie. You gotta take a video of him flying that.
Oh, I definitely will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to get him to come flying this weekend if possible. And I was going to have him teach him to fly on revolutions.
You're gonna put him on a Revolution?
Yeah, it's stupid easy to fly. It's the easiest
I
plane to
know it's
fly.
stupid easy to
So
fly, but how much line tension you got? How much does he weigh? Is he?
he's very strong. He's very strong. I think with two hands, but no problem for him.
Okay, as long as he's
Uh,
got enough weight that it doesn't pull him
I mean,
across the circle.
the little guy, can do handstands and walks on his hands.
I wouldn't do one-handed handstand push-ups.
That's
That's what you
probably.
switch
I
to.
know. I know. I'm having a hard time walking on 2 feet. That guy walks on both hands with the feet up.
Heck, I can't stand in the middle of the circle and lean back without
Okay.
falling over.
So plan for the weekend is to finish the wing. Then we're gonna make the cutouts for where the wing is being joined to the fuselage, so we don't glue over the monocoat or cover, ultra coat, whatever the heck that is. And after that, we're gonna glue the stabilizer in place, put the rudder in place, glue that in place, and glue the wing in. Pretty much ready after that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pretty much ready after that. We bought everything. We have a motor. We have ESC.
Oh, come
We have
on.
the only thing we don't have is a timer. So
Okay.
this is going to be the motor. We have the ESC right here. Obviously, the ends from the ESC they don't match the motor because you can tell like it's two
Yeah,
different
you
sizes.
gotta change
So I'm gonna
up.
have to either modify the one on the motor or he or just solder them together directly. I think I'm gonna do the third one. So it's one thing less, 1 point that's not gonna fail in time, right?
Yeah.
We have batteries.
What
I
batteries
got
you
this
using on that?
850 milliamps 3S batteries that are very compact. They're very flat and
Looks like they wouldn't weigh much either.
I don't know. Hope so. I think I might cut out this mess over here. Just leave the plug, like which is a typical plug. I don't see what's this big white piece of crap in here for. It comes with a T, the Dean's connector. So I kind of like this because everything is Dean's in my stuff, and also his brother also uses Dean's on his stuff. So might as well just stick to one thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking I could probably just get my radio up and running and control his plane with the radio from outside.
Just wired direct to the battery.
You mean control the speed of the on-off, not on the motor?
Yeah, I mean we can do either way. We can go a timer, some kind of timer. I'm thinking about the climb and dive timer if we do anything because it's just it's easy to use and um,
Well, it'd be
And,
nice if you could turn the motor on or off from outside the circle. That'd be nice.
Yes, that's would be my first thought, right? Because of yeah, because of in case something is not right, if he goes and flies with his dad or his brother or something like that, they can just shut it down.
Yeah.
And the plane, it's light enough, it's strong enough to take a little bit of a beating, and not be too bad, right?
Gotcha.
Damage, especially if you shut down the motor. It's light, has a big fat airfoil. It's going to slow down enough to not become a problem. But yeah, we were thinking about the color scheme, and we were trying to do the color scheme from the original. But the original was kind of difficult for him to do. I mean, a 6-year-old, you don't want to go over here. Just you have to match each rib and hit it perfectly and all the stuff. Not too much to worry about. So I opted for something simple, kind of like this. It still complements the nose that has this shapes over here and on the bottom.
Yeah.
The typical. So I said, since I have this curvy thing looking over there, I said, I'm going to do this on a wing, and you can see this is copy and paste everywhere.
Yep.
Same thing here, right? Same idea here and the same idea on a wing. And that's kind of, to me, this is a very simple way of making something come together and have some harmony by creating a theme and just transpose it everywhere else.
Are you going to hand launch and only, or you going to put gear on it?
No. I was going to get gear. I was going to get wheels. I was going to get the works.
Good.
Yeah. We're not cutting corners.
I remember when I was learning, we were running Ringmasters. The gear lasted about maybe a month or two, and then the gear was off, and we were hand launching and landing on the bottom on the grass.
That works.
Yeah, it actually flew better.
I had one plane one time. It was I think it was SV-12. That was crashed, and I recovered it and changed the top block of the fuselage to be more like of a stiletto kind of thing, right? Instead of SV-12, just because I was flying it, and the landing gear fell off because I forgot to tighten up the screws. And when I think the landing gear fell off, it was completely different animal. It's flying so much better. You're right about it. It's like I'm not sure if but you moved the CG back a little bit, I guess, because of that, and because the whole gear is usually in front of the CG, right?
Yeah.
Most likely.
And it was a little bit lighter, and I had good fun with it. I just flew it and belly landed. Nothing happened to the plane. Didn't hurt anything other than my pride.
It's a cute little airplane.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. And I have about 30 students this year.
30?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I wonder how, what's his name? He's got that thing going on there. Aviation thing. I don't see
Ed
him.
Waskey.
Who is it?
Ed Waskey.
Is he doing his thing this weekend?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I think it's first week of August, 8th and 9th or something.
Yeah, that's it. 8th and 9th of August.
Oh, okay.
He'll
Well,
probably be on.
that guy's got he's got a bunch of people lined up now. So thanks for you guys like you and him really putting out the effort.
Well, but my kids are not there to try. They are there to build.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They're committed to stay with me at least the semester.
Excellent.
So that's nice. I have two. By the way, if you guys are curious, I have two group projects for advanced students. And one of them is going to be a Tom Dixon SV Vector kit. And I also have a glider, a 2-meter glider. It's called Astrid. It's a built-up glider and similar to the one I'm building right now.
Excellent.
RC, all the works. Yeah.
Excellent.
And yeah.
Well, it's all model airplanes as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. So that's that. I think I'm gonna get the beginners to build some cardboard planes and stuff like that. We're gonna work through that, try to move them up to build a Delta plane, which is where they learn actually to glue, make structures, like our elevators basically, and you cover it. I want to teach them how to cover it uh, with tissue paper and probably after that, the guys that build the more advanced planes, I'm gonna have them cover them with a uh, 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 ultra coat, and that's that.
Yeah.
I also was thinking to have a N30 plane for myself or a classic plane, and I was looking at Junar. I think Junar is N30, right?
I think Junar isn't that classic legal?
Is it?
The Juno is classic legal, isn't it? Yep.
Junar is not. Okay.
Right.
I don't
Jim
think
Moffat's
either of them
shaking
are
his
legal.
head no. So
No, classic, the cutoff is 1979.
69.
69.
69, you're right.
Okay.
I don't,
Yeah. So, anyways, just for fun, to build a Junar and fly it in N30. I think it's good for N30, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Of course, you could
So-
build a USA 1 and that'd be good for classic and anything coming after that. And it's a good
Mhm.
flying airplane.
Yeah, I was thinking about the USA one too. I start to look for plans for those two. Whatever I find, wherever I find.
I know where you can find the plans.
Mm.
Find the plans. If nowhere else, you can find it with AMA's batch of plans. They got just about everything now.
Mm.
And if not there, you try Outer Zone. But
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah, I'll
Outer
try
Zone's
those.
got 'em.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there's a nice set that Warren T-Hart drew years ago. They're excellent. For the
yeah, he did
USA
good
one.
plans.
Hey, Dan, how much was that tooling dough? Did you get it from Resin Services?
Yeah, the tooling dough, it's a high temp tooling dough. It's basically a 5-gallon kit. It's a 5-gallon pail and a 2.5 gallon or something like that. I forget.
Of
But
hard
anyway,
dough?
it's a total of 5,
How much was it?
$276, I think. That'll do 15 square feet, 1/4 inch thick, I believe. So here's something I got some scrap.
Yeah, yeah.
The old clamp,
That'll do bell cranks.
Yeah, I drilled 1/2 inch holes in 1/2 inch steel, and after drilling about 8 holes, I'm thinking, you know what? I need to take this to the machine shop. I want a bunch of them because I got tired of drilling. But yeah, it'll work out perfect for a bell crank, and then you could have, same thing on maybe landing gear. You just put a bigger threaded rod in there.
All thread.
Yeah.
What is
They
your
sell-
mold made out of? Is it aluminum, I think?
No.
No, the
Okay.
aluminum, My molds are made out of, let's see, what's the number?
HAC 560.
HAC 560. It's a casting resin.
Yes, yeah.
Resin Services sells it. And it's a high temp casting resin try-on. You can,
Yeah.
you room temp cure it. And once it's cured, then you go post cure it. You can post cure it up to like 400, 450 degrees. And the surface coat, I use a 302 surface coat from Resin Services. It's highly filled with aluminum, so you can wet sand it and buff it, and it shines up really nice. So between the surface coat and the HAC, the casting. The other thing with that casting resin try-on, Resin Services sells different hardeners. So there's 3 different hardeners. One hardener is a casting up to an inch. You go 2.5 inches, it's another hardener. And then the third hardener will go up to a 7-inch casting. And what that does is it keeps the exotherm. The thicker the casting gets, the slower the cure has to go. Another thing I've done is actually take aluminum shot, aluminum BBs, and you could backfill the aluminum. So that helps.
Yeah.
Also fill it with rocks, can't you, Dan?
I've tried that.
You
know,
I gotta be clean rocks.
I was asking if they're aluminum, because if they were aluminum, you could probably just drill and tap them instead of making clamps and stuff like that. Just drill and tap on side and put some clearance bolts, put the bolts through, and just tighten them down.
Yeah,
You can even glue some blind nuts on it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Like you said, put the integral into the mold.
Yes.
That's the best way to do it. But these are just castings, you know, out of resin.
You'd have to rethink your design so you could do that.
Rethink your design and spend a lot more money.
Right.
This isn't a flying contest. This is a see who can spend the most money contest.
Oh, yeah.
What's your thumb?
A sheet of 2024, half-inch thick, 2024 aluminum plate, milled flat, was $600. It's 42 by 24 inches. So by the time you spend the $600 on aluminum, it's probably going to be a $1,000 or more machining bill. So
Everybody buying bell cranks.
Here are some ideas that you might want to consider anytime you make a mold. And so one of the ideas is that you have screws that just go through and they bolt on the other side. Okay. Another idea is that, one second, I have one more screw to take out. So another idea is to have some kind of a registering pins in it.
Yeah.
And if you can see, I have one here and one here. So my 2 molds go in there. It's like they cannot go sideways like this.
Right.
Or shift somehow. They're always in the same orientation. Another idea is that you see I'll have relief in here. You have some place where the excess of the resin can go through. You can see them.
Have a trough, to get rid of it. Yeah.
You see how it travels outside?
Yeah. We do
So
that on the
that's-
pop molds, yeah.
What are we looking
So
at?
this,
A mold.
it's a landing gear mold.
Oh, landing gear. Thank you.
Yes, Ryan, that's a nice mold. The indexing pins, I guess if you could make a dimple in one side of the mold, if you cast it out of casting resin, and then the other cast would go inside the dimple, so that'd be your indexing.
Works too.
And then-
However, what I do instead of making a dimple, I'm making some kind of a harder point.
Yeah,
Take a dowel pin and leave a dowel pin in there, the tip of a dowel pin, right?
yeah,
Because the dimple made out of casting stuff is gonna go bad real fast. So you can have a dowel pin and maybe a bushing on the other side, and then you cast the mold. So the mold is gonna capture the bushing,
right.
and when you pull them together, they're gonna last a lot longer. It's gonna be more durable. Think
Yeah.
about that. I mean, yeah, dimple is gonna get work out, but for how long? That's the question.
The other thing you could do, and if you didn't want to tap into the casting, you could actually cast in a threaded insert.
Too. That works too.
If you put oil on the bolt, you could just put the bolt in there, let it cure, and then unthread it out of there.
I use Vaseline all the time.
Hey, Tryon, is that 6061 or 2024?
This is 6061. 2024 is way more expensive. I'm a cheapskate. But it doesn't polish as well as the harder the aluminum, the better, the nicer the polish, right?
Right.
But it also costs a lot more. So yeah, these are the molds that make the landing gear for the Revolutions.
So
So
the 24 by 42 sheet, half-inch thick, I think the difference between 2024 and 6061 was like 150 bucks.
and
Yeah,
to me that's a lot of money, but yeah, it all depends.
yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a nice
in general, thank you, appreciate. Uh, when I lay up this mold, I have basically unidirectional. In the center, I put some. No, I'm lying. I'm using a bi-directional, like 45 degrees bias. One layer of the heavy stuff that I use, like the 40 grams per square meter. That
Yeah.
stops it from splitting it like this, right? Makes sense?
Mhm.
And then I go with 3 layers of unidirectional in one direction, like that. And then in the center, I use some carbon fiber tow, right? That's like a center spine. And then
Right.
the rest of the stuff, I fill it in with micro balloons and epoxy mix. And I do the same thing on the opposite sides. But when you smush it in, all the micro balloons will gonna ooze out. The unidirectional center is gonna get smushed and it's gonna expand sideways a little bit, right?
Right.
And uh, and that's it. Just get it nice and tight and tighten up the bolts, and the thickness is very consistent, and everything is just uh, comes up pretty nice every time.
Yeah. Aluminum's the way to go if you can do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Casting resin works great too. What I would do with that, not even casting resin, is tooling board. You ever use tooling board?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use tooling board and CNC the shape out of it and polish it and stuff like that. You're good to go after that. That's it. And in a tooling board, what you can do, you can drill the holes for the registering, right? And put some pins in there. That's what I did on the other molds.
Yeah, they got some pretty dense tooling board.
Yeah. But when you do something like this, like a two parts that fit together and stuff like that, you want to make sure that they don't go like this, like that, or just some other crazy stuff. So when you build the mold, you want to take in consideration that and seriously consider it. And all
The
that stuff.
landing gear I just laid up. I don't really worry about the indexing because it's built into the mold. It's
Mhm.
like I'll show you a picture here. This
I think I've seen your video. Yes.
see
Uh-huh.
this mold. It's
Uh-huh.
got this flange here.
Yes,
So
and that's what
basically,
registers it. Yes.
right,
Uh-huh.
when it comes together,
Uh-huh.
it'll self-register.
Yes. Yeah, that's
So
another way of doing it.
okay.
And you put it together wrong, you won't have a mold next time.
Especially if you clamp it real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
why on these molds, I usually run some kind of line or indexing line, so it's just an extra bit of insurance.
Hmm. Got it.
But,
Got any
it's just
news
like
from
that. Oh,
we
go
got any
ahead,
news
Spark.
from Pampa, Mark?
Great lead in, Sparky. Thank you. I spent the day went up to Allentown, Stockerton, actually. It's about a 2 hour ride from me in PA. And Bob Hunt and I got in his van and visited a guy named Tom Hampshire. And was very active at Brodak for years,
Yeah.
being the assistant event director, contest director, great guy.
An attorney.
Yep. And he's had some health issues as he's gotten older, nothing terrible, but balance has been an issue. And he decided to slim down the shop. And one of the things he had was about 150 plan sets. And he told Bob and I that he would be willing to give those to Pampa. Okay. So they're also in a very heavy metal sliding drawer cabinet that we got out of his basement, put in the back of Bob's van. So we have that, and what we're looking at now is how to digitize those without going broke. So if any of you have an outlet, we have a couple of thoughts. The first thing we're going to do is talk to AMA and see if they'll do it for us. We also stopped at a place in Easton, Pennsylvania, and the gentleman there was nice enough to spend 10 minutes and he gave us this, which is a memory stick. And what's on it is every Pampa plan. People have been asking, what about the Pampa plans? And they're on here. And the next thing is to get them the simplest way online somewhere that anyone who wants to open it up who's a Pampa member can go ahead and get a set of plans. It'll be in a PDF, so you just need to find someone to print it out for you in enlargement. That way, we're not stuck with mailing tubes and everything else that's connected with those, and postage. So we're very happy to have this. We
Cool.
did speak to that gentleman about scanning. He does do that. He does digitize. But being a nonprofit, we're trying to find the least expensive way to make these other plans. Bob and I started looking through them. I'd say 25, maybe 30% stunt. The great majority are old time stunt, some nostalgia, some old time too. But there's some really interesting airplanes in there. Some from early 50s. So there'd be some great subjects. So I'm happy about all that because I want to give Pampa members as much as we possibly can give them, um, and keep it in our budget. Another thing we're doing, and Sparky's just waiting for me. We're going to have a more serious presence um, on Stunt Hangar. Right now, there is a slot for me to say what I need to say, but uh, as soon as I can give the structure to Sparky, then he can come back with a price for me and we can get something going. Um, so I think there are a lot of good things going on. We had a spirited conversation a few days ago on here about judging, and everyone worked out to be good, just as good of friends as they were before the conversation started. And it was just it was a matter of different opinions. That's all. Everyone has a right to their opinion. Um, and so I like that. I like spirited conversations, and I like to hear different points of view. Um, So that's good. I understand that the newest edition of our stunt news is out, and I understand the cover is Mike Palco with his Mustang and his son, Kyle. So I responded to that saying I asked that Mike not be on the photo, only Kyle and the airplane. And Mike will understand my humor on that, I think. So look for that if you're a Pampa member. And if you're not, I know how to get you a copy of those. First copy is $40 because that's the cost. That's the membership cost. Um, so, Sparky, thanks for saying that. The only thing I can tell you, which is not a Pampa, doesn't fall under our jurisdictions, but I got involved in it to move it along. And really, Bob kind of was the first one, and I took it from Bob, and that's the team trials. The team trials, because it's an FAI event, there are some rules that AMA has to follow, and anyone involved has to follow. So the committee is normally made up of 11 representatives, one from each AMA district, and a chairman. And just so you know the facts of the deal, the chairman resigned at the end of last calendar year. And that's Randy Smith. Randy's had some health issues. I'm not making excuses for him, but I think he probably had a pretty good reason to give up the chairmanship of that. A few others have been very inactive in the hobby, and the committee feels that people on the committee, since it involves world competition, should be very active, whatever that means. So I've been working with AMA, as have a few people on the committee. There's still some administrative things we have to do, but the most important thing is it's going to be October 13th, which is a Monday. The 14th, if there's bad weather, it's going to be in Sacramento. I don't know the name of the place in front of me, but apparently it's a well-known site. It's where the Golden State Championship is flown every year. And
On the airport?
Dennis Nunes.
Folsom Recreation Area.
That's it. Thank you.
We flew Golden State there once, but it was a huge success.
Thank you, Jim. So that's where it is. I got an email today from someone who wanted to know what was happening. He lives on the West Coast. So that's all coming into focus, just some admin things we got to do. The World Championship will be in Australia, and the top 3 winners will be invited to go, and then it's kind of up to them, the top 3, regarding their own funding of that trip. That is not an inexpensive trip.
Okay. In the morning.
I was just looking at it for myself, and I was looking at about $3,000 minimum.
Yeah.
Between the plane ticket, and you get a car rental and a place over there, and the whole company, it's the trip is alone. It's about 30 hours.
Yeah, it's a long trip.
In a plane, so you need to plan like 2 days to fly over there, 2 days to fly back, and so you have 4 days to begin with, plus the 7 days of the competition. So you're looking at least a minimum 2 weeks of vacation, and it adds up so badly.
So
I don't
hopefully,
think I can afford it.
one of the things that came out of my meeting with the board, the executive committee of Pampa was there was some great conversation about finding some outside revenue sources. Okay, I wish we were in a position that we could give top 3 who qualify a check to cover, the lion's share of the cost. Right now, we can't do that. But I'm not sure if we've ever really looked deep into this and see
Didn't
if
AMA used to cover some of the cost of that?
yeah,
I know
think
they did.
Sparky, You're absolutely right. I think it's maybe $500. Okay, and I mean that's helpful. But this is it's one of the reasons we didn't have more teams last year at our Worlds. It's just for a lot of people, it's an expensive proposition to come to the United States. And the same thing will probably happen with Australia. I'm sure it's a great place. Rumor has it 2 years later it'll be in France. It's a rumor, but that would be a lot less costly, at least for people in the U.S.
And here's the second question.
Yeah.
Things that combat and scale and all them other guys have their team trials at the Nats. Why can't we?
It's a good question. And that's not up to Tampa. That's strictly up to the committee. And as soon as the committee is intact again, and that's just administrative stuff, that's been brought up to them. Instead of a separate trip and separate accommodations and all that, I think it's a great idea just to have it at the Nats. And I'm thinking everyone who tries out for the team is certainly at the Nats anyway. So I guess I'll probably know more about that, Sparky, even though I'm not. Well, I shouldn't say that. Right now, I'm the designated rep for District 4. Okay, so, and I did that because I knew I would qualify in terms of someone being active in the hobby. But, at some point, I'm sure I'll give it up for someone who's in the district that, maybe as a competitor. So things are moving along. Sparky, thanks for reminding me of these things. And I did, since I was at Bob's house, which is always a treat, we started looking at some videos, and one was this young, good-looking guy with dark hair who lived somewhere in Indiana showing his newest bell crank. And I looked at this good-looking guy and I said, Bob, who is that? And he said, well, it's hard to believe, but that's Dan Winship. And I said, boy, Dan must have had a tough life. Look at him now. Dan, I didn't say that. But if I closed my eyes, I knew it was you because the voice to me hasn't changed at all. So anyway, it's always great being at Bob's, and he and I are going to go together to the Aviation Expo in West Virginia, which is coming up like the 8th and the 9th of August for 3 days. And then we're also going to go to Massachusetts for their CLPA weekend. They asked me to, it was pretty good salesmanship. Rick Huff said, we're going to have 3 of the top pilots in the country come. And for that, we need just a top level judge. And I said, I agree with you. Who did you have in mind?
Right. You're going to find him.
Said, well, yeah, I should have asked you, Sparky. So in another weak moment, I agreed. So Bob and I will be making that trip as well. And for me, it's a great way to meet people and talk about Tampa. As we used to say in the Army, smoke and joke, except I don't smoke. So
smoke him if you got him.
Yeah, and I think I told you, and I hope this doesn't sway membership, but that I am going to go for another term unless someone else runs and has more votes. But that's been on my mind for a while, and I wanted to make a decision about it. So,
no, you're appointed lifetime president.
I promise you, I won't run.
I really don't have a long list of people who've been after all this. And I said, you should really think about not running. But what? I'm glad I got involved with it. I'm glad at least from my point of view, trying to do my best, and everyone tells me that Pampa's in better shape than it was. So that's all good. That's all good. So back to you guys.
One last thing on that. What's up with the new website? When's it going to be done?
That's in progress. I think it's going to take a little while, and I'm thinking, and I'm just guessing here, Sparky. I'd say by Labor Day, somewhere maybe like in Labor Day, because people work and do other things. But I think it's going to be a great project. And now we have the plans that we can.
But she's not asleep.
So anyway, I'll keep everyone informed on all these things because they're important to us. And if you're a Pampa member, you want to take advantage of this stuff. So, by the way, the board in our meeting decided not to do any dues increase for next year. So it's going to stay at the ripe number of $40, and I don't really know what that means, but we're doing okay. So thank you.
Thank you.
Come on.
Anybody home?
Don't everybody speak up at once.
Hello. I thought for a minute Hoffman was making a sandwich, but
Oh, I'm making airplane parts.
Old
school.
Is that a former?
It is.
What do you?
I'm almost done.
What are you painting on there?
Painting. Oh, well, I spent the week using these useless model airplane skills to do something my wife calls useful.
Oh.
I've painted a room and a lot of trim around the house. I'm a frequent flyer at Sherwin-Williams these days.
Your model airplane skills have finally paid off.
That's
what
what she
paint
says.
did you use? Dope or epoxy or?
I use Sherwin-Williams acrylic latex.
That's good paint.
It's fabulous paint. These new paints are incredible. You can bring get a swatch, you match it. It's an absolute perfect match. And one coat covers everything. It's water-based. Doesn't
Does that
smell.
on your airplane. It does that on your airplane too. It goes right over dope.
Well, I wouldn't know about that.
And dope will go right over it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, I'll tell you a story. When I do the live streaming in the garage, I got the look, and my garage door had water stains on it. From, bad storm or something. So I got looking at the stream. I thought, that looks terrible. So I got a gallon of paint over there. So I get the gallon out and I start slapping some paint on the inside of this garage door. My wife comes home. She said, well, that's sort of odd. What makes you do that? And I told her, I said, the stream looked bad because of the water stain on this door. She said, why don't you take the camera outside and point it towards the front of the house and do a live stream there? I said, okay, I get your point.
Well, she must know my wife.
Hey, Jim, if you heard, Bob Hunt reminded me of a great short story. When he won the Worlds, and I think it was in '78, he called his wife, Marianne, and said, guess what? I won the Worlds. And she said, I didn't think you were good enough to win the Worlds. He said, well, I won the Worlds. And he comes home and he's feeling all puffed up about winning the Worlds. And she said, so you have a trophy for being right now the best in the world in an event that absolutely pays zero money. Thank you for all you do, Bob. And she's really a wonderful woman. I mean, so it's a great line.
I'll tell you another story. It's sort of along the same line. We were all standing around at the Nats one year, and Bob Gieske's wife passed away. And this was probably about 3 or 4 years after she passed. I don't know, it's quite a while. And somebody asked, maybe Billy Werwood said, "Hey, Bob, you dating anybody or you got a girlfriend?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I met this girl. He's real nice." He said, "We go out to eat. We go to a movie. We do stuff together." And he said, "Well, that sounds good." So then Bob said, "Yeah, I told her one weekend I was going to go flying." She said, "Well, that's fine. Go have fun flying a airplane." And he said, "The next week I told her I was going to go flying again." And she said, "Well, didn't you already just do that last weekend?" But then Bob said, "I could see right there this wasn't going to work out, so we just broke it off." She didn't quite understand this flying goes on every week.
Hey, Jim, what is that airplane above your head, that blue one?
That is a Pathfinder.
It is?
Yeah, it's a profile Pathfinder, e-powered.
Oh, I like the color scheme on there. It looks really nice.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So, matter of fact, when I built that, you told me to stretch the nose because it's e-powered. You were right, and I did that.
Oh, good.
Still needed tail weight, but
Oh, it needed tail weight?
oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, Jim, I think your nose looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Plenty of it.
I flew my Pathfinder yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still in one piece.
It is. Still goes rich inverted though.
Does it?
Yeah.
Did you raise the tank?
Yeah. No. Well, it's the size it'll go. So I pulled the back off and raised the uniflow.
Okay.
So is it the one I flew?
No. Jim wrecked that up at the Northwest Regionals.
Oh.
This one I built during the winter.
Oh. You remember
40.
that Nelson 15 I wrestled from you last year?
Oh, did you? I looked all over for that. I could not find it. I didn't know what happened to it.
It's in my house. So Bert and I wanted that because I fly carrier also. I have a 15 size carrier that flies well. It's just not fast enough. So the idea was to retrofit it with that motor. So last few weekends, Bert and I have been out trying to make that work. We finally got a carburetor outfitted to it that worked, and we got that running on the bench pretty well. So then Bert says, "Well, you get them running on the bench, and that's fine, but then you got to tune them in the air. They run differently in the air." So we've been trying to do that, and so it's a lot of starts, and you launch it, and it fails right at launch. So anyhow, we've been starting it with a little electric half-A starter, and it started. I noticed that there was a rub, so I took it home, took it apart, and I think we shoved the crankshaft aft a little bit, and it was rubbing on the back plate. So I took it apart, tapped the crankshaft a little bit to move it forward as much as I could. And I made it better, but there's still a slight rub. So that's kind of where it is right now. Now, I put the other motor back on the airplane. There's a contest in LA in a few weekends. So I put the old reliable motor on it. So that's where we're going to be.
If you can't figure it out, I know a guy who needs it.
Yeah, now I know where that motor went, Sparky.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Well, you gave it to me a year ago.
Well, I know, but I went through my stuff. I says, I know I had an Nelson 15.
He forgot. We're getting to that age.
I thought maybe somebody ripped me off.
You know what You know what he's got for power on his new Pathfinder?
What's that?
Or say what you got for power on your new Pathfinder. He's got a Stalker 51 side exhaust.
Yep.
Plenty of power.
Especially on 15%.
Anybody out there listening to this or whatever, I'm looking for a hot 40 Profi Nelson, or 40, 15, I mean, for a perky. So get a hold of me.
I'm sorry there's Sparky. I didn't know what I did with it.
It's all right.
Well, I'm sad that it's not working for you, Jim. I'm wondering if it needs to take a trip back to Mr. Nelson if he's still doing anything.
Shoot back to Gordy. Gordy knows how to fix them.
Yeah, the motor runs, but getting them to run with a carburetor in a carrier application is it's another step ahead.
Yep.
At Brodak, I ended up picking up this and then found out that it won't work. It's a Super Tiger 15 rear exhaust.
Oh, I had one of those. Yeah.
I need a front exhaust or front intake.
I got a 15 diesel with a carburetor.
I don't think that's going to go very fast.
I don't know. Team trials that they run diesels. Not team trials, what do they call it? Team race.
I think I can use up to a 19 in diesel. Let me look here. Had the rules out, but I don't want to run a diesel.
No.
Yeah, you lose all your friends.
Yeah, so what's that smell?
I just took a crap on in my toolbox. Yeah, 19. No. It says 15 glow or diesel, 19 cubic inch, 0.19 cubic inch ignition engine, and I definitely ain't running no ignition.
Thing is that diesel will pull more pitch than a glow will. You get your speed out at a lower RPM with more pitch.
I need a combat motor is what I need.
You might talk to Lunky. He's got a few of those Profis.
Yeah, how about a Fora?
Yeah, Fora.
Yeah.
Fora would be fine, but there's two different kinds. One Fora has a muffler on it. You can't use that. You got to use the one with the pipe. The straight exhaust. It's the older Fora.
Hey, Sparky, you could always run DEF fluid on the diesel.
Yeah. I got them fittings coming now, and I'll send you a picture when I get them. I believe they're exactly the same. After looking at this, this was $50 for one. I'm getting 4 pieces, 2 male and females, for $20 in hydraulic.
There you go. I'm looking at Trey and what he's made. Is that a back scratcher or something there he's got?
The hang glider wing, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Fuselage. Fuselage, tailbone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Gordy, how's Brent Williams holding up on his horn business? He plugging along all right
That's
out there?
good, Trey.
Yeah, he's doing a great job on them.
That's good.
I like your faux carbon fiber on the nose. Yeah.
On what, John?
On the nose of that glider, He's got the faux carbon fiber on there.
Yeah.
Peeling stick.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is nice.
Doing a good job. It really looks good.
Is that one of them there boomerang models where you, I don't know what you call it, where you grab it by the wing and throw it?
Discus throw.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got a spot underneath for a tow hook.
We can't hear you because you're muted.
See right there underneath that spar? It looks like a tow hook.
Yes, that it is. And it's on a slider and has a screw that positions it, so you can just do fine-tune adjustments on it. So until model is going to climb just fine.
Did you build that, Tryon?
Yes.
That's nice.
I got to punch out. Bye bye.
So right now, what I'm
See,
doing,
Gordon? Or-
what I'm doing right now,
Tim
I'm
Hoffman,
running this
see.
Teflon tubing inside for the push rods. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's kind of small. It's right there.
That peeling stick carbon fiber?
See that?
That's
That
carbon
one.
fiber monocoat or Oracoat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So you can see it running through here. I'm gonna have to glue it on the side so it doesn't move. So it's nice and rigid. Then I'm gonna have to glue it here. This is where the boom starts, right here. You can see the boom over there.
Yeah. That's cool. That's 2-meter wing?
Yes. Yeah. And it
That's
comes all the way up here.
the V-tail, I take it.
Yeah. So I decided to go to the use the lower low end and use a pull spring system into it. Pull spring is it's when you have a give me a second. Okay. So you have a torsion bar inside of it, right here. It's right here. You see the torsion bar?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, it's a wire that's like a Z band, but you go like this, horizontal and then sideways, right? So you have 90 degrees between the two ends, and you just stick them inside here and like that. And you just put a drop of glue here, drop the glue over there, so it doesn't come out. And now the servo is going to pull against it, right? The spring is responsible to go up, and the servo is going to keep the tension on it. So there's no slop in the system at all, and you don't require like a very tight fit on components at all.
You don't have to have a rigid push
Yes.
line.
So
you know.
what I have some little rings, like looks like on our control line when you do terminate our lines, right? So I'm gonna go like this around the ring and going around just like we did on the control line stuff, right? I'm borrowing ideas and then you crimp it.
Yeah.
Simple like that.
It doesn't have to do any outside, so it doesn't need too much down.
Yeah, I mean the down is gonna come from the servos anyways. So if it fails on an opposition.
Yeah, it'll be
like
doing
this.
Which
So,
dethermalizes it.
so like a DT, yeah, exactly. So it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
Um,
Good idea.
So that's how I decided. The one thing I don't like about this thing, it has like these big holes here for the control horn. So I'm gonna have to fill in these two little holes with micro balloons. I think I'm gonna do some and some thin super glue, right? And after that, I'm gonna recut this slot in here to make the control horn. So the control horn is gonna go like this underneath. is going to be here underneath. And what I'm going to do to the control horn, the back of it is going to have like a hook to it, like this, right? So I can take my control surface, just move it down, remove the wire, right? And then the elevator can just slip right out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of simple. You just put it on like this. Get your control surface and move it down to the down position. Take your wire, just hook it up and just let it go. Boom. And it's going to go back. And that's it.
Now with that butterfly tail setup on that, are you
The
running?
V-tail.
Yeah,
It is the V-tail.
you're running that pull string to both elevators?
Yes.
Okay.
Same system on both.
Yeah. Simple. Works good.
Mm-hmm. Simple is good. Yep. And yeah. And I was also working on this today. Have to think it through, right? Because of I cannot glue this in place unless I know where my wires gonna be. You see these wires that I made? And this is basically soldered off of
Yeah.
I just soldered on this thing, right? So I just cut three pieces, the three lines, and then I use the short end to solder my wires, and yeah. So I have to have my my Teflon tubing in place, right? That way I know when I'm gonna glue these guys, and once I know when I'm gonna glue these guys, then it's gonna dictate where I'm gonna put it in here.
Yeah.
Because I have to time it so it's just right. I mean, I can leave it extra long and plug it in every time, but it's probably better to just glue it in place, and when I assemble the wing, it connects. And that's kind of the goal for me. I would like to when I assemble the wing and the wings goes in, they connect. So
Let's see, we got any chats? T-Bone. Let's see. Staples. Around 50 cents a scan to thumb drive. Okay. Whatever that means. That's from T-Bone. Hi, you guys.
That's a good price.
Oh, John Carrata says hello from South New Zealand, where it's 5 degrees or whatever. The real down under. And that's it. So we didn't get much chat. I'm going to end the YouTube program for you guys watching on YouTube. I appreciate you watching. What we normally do is go into an after party after that. And you got to be a member on Stunt Hangar and be logged in order to be on the after party. And I'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See you. All right, we got that over with. We're going to turn this over to Gary. He doesn't have Len